Hi, I'm Kathy, growing in Glory's Garden. And what's going on in Glory's Garden today? We're amending raised beds. I have one raised bed that's 8 feet long, 3 feet wide, and I'm going to be amending that, adding more soil, taking up all the straw out of the bed and adding more soil to the bed. And that's what we're doing today in Glory's Garden. And I'll also be adding in new plants, some plants that I picked up today that was on sale at Home Depot. So we're going to be adding those to the raised beds. Today we have a lot of noise going on in the garden. As usual, we have that AC noise, and I know by now anybody that's been following the channel, they're used to that and used to me talking about it. It is hot here, so AC noise is necessary. But we also have fighter jets in town this weekend, and they're doing a show right now while I have my off time and to be working in the garden because I have something to do later on this evening. So you may hear airplanes going ahead. My town is small, but we do have 2 small private airports here in this area. So things do land, private jets land here in the area that I'm in. But that's what we're going to be doing. So I'm saying that so y'all will just forgive the noise sound. You know, we're outside and along with the birds that's chirping. But that's what we're going to be doing today in Glory's Garden. We're going to be amending this raised bed. The first thing I'm doing now is taking up most of the straw out of the bed. This is what I used to mulch the bed with, was this straw, and I'm just taking it out and putting it in a bucket that I have here on standby. But so far, that's all I'm doing on this part, taking the straw out. I do have a few plants that's still in this bed. Just a couple of tomatoes, one beet plant that is still hanging on, and one ground cherry. To me, those things don't seem to be growing well in this raised bed, so I will be relocating them to another part of the garden. One thing I did have left in this bed is a sweet potato. I had it planted, waiting for it to give me some roots and to give me some sweet potato slips. So I will locate that somewhere else in the garden higher up, because I did have 2. I had them in pots, and whatever was coming in the garden at night came by, dug one up, you know, just because I just had it sitting on top of the soil with some soil around it. Well, whatever was coming in the garden eating the marigolds got this. That was the first thing it took out of the garden, was a sweet potato. And that's when I took the last sweet potato that I had and moved it into this raised bed and had the covering over it. Well, now it's starting to give me some roots and some slips. So I think I'm going to just relocate it to another part of the garden to let it give me some more slips. Probably get a little bigger and get some more roots on it. And probably put it in a place and cover it up so it could continue to grow. So that's one of the things. Now I've gotten all of the straw out of it, and I'm going to start amending it with some black cow and some other dirt. It says for in-ground only or for in-ground, but I'm going to use that soil because it was on sale, and I know I can amend that soil. And that's what I'm going to be doing. I'm going to use that soil to amend this bed and just add some amendments to that soil. Sorry if I have the camera crooked. I have it on a little small stand so I could go up and down and show you what I'm doing as I'm progressing through. So that's what I'm going to do now, start just filling this bed. This is the soil that I'm using to fill it. I'm using this Miracle Grow. It was 4 for $10, so I bought 8 bags. All of it may not go in this bed, or all of it may, and I also bought some black cow. And I have some worm casting, bone meal, blood meal, other things, and other fertilizer that I can use to amend this soil to get it to do what I need it to do. Because over here in Glory's Garden, you know, we garden on a budget over here, so that's what was on sale. That's what I bought. I know it's safe for in-ground. I know I'm a container gardener, but hey, it is what it is. I just believe that I'm able to add what I need to this soil to make it work for me, which is why I'm using it. And I know it's Miracle Grow. I know a lot of people don't care for Miracle Grow and different stuff like that. I don't have a problem with that soil. I never have. But I decided it's probably best that I go ahead on and amend this bed, raise it up with some soil while it barely had anything in it, and it'll be easier for me to go ahead and do it now versus having a whole bed full of plants trying to grow and thinking, hey, I need to raise this soil up. So this will be ready. And I do have some plants that I'm going to be putting in here today as well. And the reason I took the straw up instead of just letting it stay down, because I know eventually it will break down, I wanted to use that particular straw for this bed. It gives it better coverage than the other stuff that I'm using to mulch with. And in this bed, the house hangs over it, so even when it rains I still have to water this bed, and that straw really hold the moisture in for me. So that's why I just took it off instead of just covering it up and letting it be a part of the process of breaking down underneath the soil. So now that I've layered it out with the dirt, I'm gonna put in a bag of black cow. So that's the bag of black cow, and then I'll be amending it with some other things as well. So I'm finishing up with layering out the black cow. I hope y'all can see me, and my aim is pretty good. It's so sunny out here, so I have these glasses on and I can't really see the camera that great. So we have the black cow in. Now I'm gonna put a couple more bags of that other dirt, the Miracle Grow. I'm gonna put a few more bags in that on top of the black cow. Then I'm gonna add some other amendments to the soil. So now that I have the black cow in, I'm adding more soil on top of that, and then I'll add my other amendments to it. They're doing some kind of exercise today. I could edit or try to edit and cut out all that noise, but then I'll be cutting out half of my video because it's going on the whole time. But if y'all been following, y'all know I don't edit nothing. So it's real life gardening over here. That's what I actually hear in real time. So that's what's on the video. So y'all forgive the noise. Y'all actually could turn the volume down and just watch the video, because it's just me amending the bed. But I thank y'all for sticking with me this far. So I have that second layer of the soil on top of the black cow. Now I'm going to show you the things that I'm going to amend the soil with. So I have bone meal, which I'll be sprinkling in here. I have some plant tone, some perlite to keep the soil fluffy, and some worm castings. That's what I'll be amending this bed with. If you all think that's too much, let me know, but probably by the time you let me know, it'll be too late, because I already have it in this bed. But I think it'll be okay if I just put a little bit of everything in here and not a whole lot of it all. So that's what I'll be doing to this raised bed. So first I'm adding the worm casting. And from what I've been told, I don't think it matters how much worm casting you put in. So that's the worm casting, and next is going to be the plant tone. And I'm just going to put a little bit of this, because it does have manure in this cow manure already into that black cow. Some of the perlite. And a little bit of bone meal. And I may add a couple of more bags of soil on top, I'm not sure. I didn't have a mask on, so I was holding my breath. Just so I won't be breathing all that stuff in. Now I'm gonna just till this soil to mix everything in. So now I'm just tilling the soil, trying to mix everything in. now that I have everything in the bed, have the soil the way I want it, I'm going to start adding my plants. I have a couple of tomato plants. I have another, I think a few bell pepper plants, and I have some squash. And I also bought another watermelon plant as well. But I'm going to be planting that somewhere else. It's going to go over there with the other watermelons. And I also bought some chamomile. They had that today, and they had some purple basil. And that's something usually here in these stores. Wait a minute. Yeah, those are the Jets. I don't know what they're doing today. Had no idea they were going to be in town today. But usually in the stores, like I was saying, they had purple basil, and I did get some of that. They had it in a container with some regular sweet basil, which is something I never see here. Purple basil. All they usually have here in these big box stores is the very basic stuff. So I kind of grabbed that up when I saw that, some purple basil. That was something different from us. And I also purchased some chamomile as well. That was something that I wanted. And so those things will be going into the green stalk tower. You all should see the flies out here now that I pulled out the black cow. They're all on the camera, all on my phone, flying all around me. But this is the purple basil that I was telling you all about. It might still just be sweet basil, but it says sweet Genovese, Genovese. And I'm going to take the regular sweet basil, the green, and I'm going to put it in here with my tomato plants. And the purple basil, I'm going to put it in the green stalk tower. I also have some straight neck squash. This was like $5, but it had 4 healthy plants in here, so I can divide these up. And I know usually squash kind of like the, I think squash like to vine, I'm not sure, but I'm not going to worry about it. I'm going to just let it do whatever it needs to do in here. And this is my tomato plant. This particular one didn't have a tag in it, but I got another one just like it, and it does already have fruit on the vine. So I will prop this up. I will stake it up. So here's what it's looking like now. I have the squash here, and here. The tomatoes. Put in the basil right there, and the 2 bell pepper plants right there. And added the girls, my granddaughters, they did these flowers. They'll be here because school will be out, and I'll be going to get them for a few weeks to spend time with them during the summer. And they're going to want to know about their flowers because they're always texting me and asking me about the garden. But this is what that finished product looked like. I'm going to plant that watermelon up and add the chamomile to the green stalk towers, and add the purple basil over there, and then I'll be done in the garden for today. I'm going to water in also, and then I'll be finished. But thank you all for joining me. Sorry about all the noise from the jets flying around. That's just something couldn't be helped. Today is the day that I was able to get out in the garden and do some work out here. I'll be working the rest of the weekend up until Monday morning. So I needed to do this today because I have something to do this evening, and I want to be present at the function this evening at the church. So I did it today, even though we had a lot of jets making noise. I don't know what they was doing. They was flying around doing circles. I even took some videos of them earlier when I was out on a soil run. I saw them flying over, and they are very loud. So I'm hoping that you were able to hear me, that it didn't come over too bad. Thank you all for joining me, sticking with me until the end of this video. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share. I'm a little tired because it's hot out here. I'm not necessarily tired. I'm more like hot and need to get something refreshing to drink. But thank you all for joining me in Glory's garden today, seeing what's going on over here with me. Don't forget to like, subscribe, share, hit that notification bell so you'll be notified every time I post a video. I thank you all so much. This is Thursday. I got that right that time. I'll see you guys on the next one.